As a business owner, do you understand how important it is for you to have employment counsel on your team to help support your business? As a business owner, do you know the variety of ways that employment counsel shows up for your company? Clock in, because today I'm going to provide you the 5 ways that employment attorneys help to show up to protect your business. Welcome to the Employment Space. This channel is designed to provide you a 360-degree view of the employment relationship directly from an employment attorney. Let's get into today's topic. One of the first values, high values, and importance of having employment counsel is on your team as a business is the attorney-client privilege protections. I can't stress this any more than any other factor I'm going to discuss with you today. The attorney-client privilege is such a strong protection for a business. Let's just face it, there are going to be many discussions about designs, plans, ideas, gripes, grievances, fleshing out some confusion or some thoughts and conversations. And if you just do that in a room without an attorney, any attorney, that's definitely detrimental to your business. But that's also one of the main purposes or value that an employment attorney brings to your business. Having the attorney-client privilege with your employment counsel is essential to your workplace relationships. Anything that touches the workplace relationship, that includes employees and independent contractors. You have written communications, verbal communications that happen on your own personal phone devices, as well as employer or company issued technology. And no matter how the communications are taking place, you want to make sure that the attorney-client privilege is had, that it's present. So that's one of the great values of having an employment attorney on your team. The next value, necessary value for your business when it comes to having an employment counsel connected to your company is compliance, for compliance reasons. There's so many state laws, federal laws, city ordinances, remote workers, leaves of absence, anything that really touches the workplace safety. Okay, there's so many agencies and laws and rules and best practices. Also, your industry requirements and expectations, right? Regulatory issues. This is all a part of compliance. So your employment attorney is going to be there to ensure that your business can remain productive, and a part of that is ensuring compliance. Next, we're going to talk about the importance of risk management and design, and the part that your employment attorney plays with that. With risk management, with employment attorneys, we are trained. We're trained to always have to make sure that we're assessing all risks, all risks for any situation that impacts the employment relationship, and that means the workplace in total. That doesn't just mean the employment relationship as an employer and employee, but also when it comes to your vendors, your independent contractors, any work-related relationship, okay? And so it's important as an employment attorney to assess all risks, and there's never a situation where there is zero risk. You'll always have to have a healthy dose of risk, and your employment attorney will walk you through that. So risk management is something that an employment attorney perfects in terms of making sure that your business remains protected and you're making the right decision to keep the business moving forward with generating income and success, right? The next thing is about design. Now, when it comes to how you see your workplace, the culture, the types of talent that you need, the job descriptions, essential functions, the contracts that you want to bring into the workplace, anything that will impact the business's workforce and how you want to design that from the ground up, you will definitely get some great guidance from your employment counsel. Next, we're going to talk about the fact that in having an employment attorney that has litigation experience, especially in my opinion, is a great service, a great value for a business, because we will then be able to properly respond to any pre-litigation or employment litigation threats. So that can be received by the company informally by a plaintiff's attorney that's been hired by either a prospective employee, existing, or even a former employee, or you will actually have received receive some sort of like charge of discrimination from either a federal or state agency. Or you actually have a state or federal court filed complaint. So your employment counsel is going to be prepared, or should be prepared, to respond and defend the company adequately. And for the sake of this post, the last thing I'll talk about today is about training and development. The old school way used to be that both HR professionals and employment counsel would be requested to train corporations in person, and it's pretty fun. It's a fun activity. But things have changed in the virtual world, right? Now training and development is either an arm created by the corporation, an arm that's kind of like connected to HR. So there's a separate department of that. But either way, your employment counsel's value is connected to ensuring compliance. We talked about that. And also just making sure that the content is correct, which really still is about compliance, right? So nowadays, whether or not a corporation, especially for startups, small-sized companies or medium-sized companies, you may not have an HR team, you may not have a training and development arm. So your employment counsel can ensure that your training materials are drafted properly, because your employment counsel most likely will be able to do that, and that the training deck, the materials, are compliant. So, for today's purposes of what we're discussing about the value of an employment attorney, I'll just list those 5 things. There are many, many, many other things. Let me know, employment counsel, HR professionals, anything else that you can think of, drop them in the comment section below. I thank you for listening today and watching today. Feel free to reach out to me if you'd like. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I will see y'all the next time. I'm clocking out. Thank you.